In today's video, we explore how the current administration under Donald Trump is stifling clean energy innovation and undermining the future of sustainable energy development. From halting crucial clean energy projects to promoting fossil fuel interests, we'll dive into the significant actions that are reshaping America's energy landscape. Join us as we discuss the implications of declaring an energy emergency, suspending offshore wind leases, and rolling back essential environmental regulations. Together, we'll shed light on how these decisions are handing control of our energy future back to fossil fuels. 1. Halting clean energy projects. Under the Trump administration, there has been a noticeable halt in the progress of clean energy projects across the nation. Federal approvals for wind projects have been suspended, and funding for solar initiatives has been frozen. This move prioritizes the development of fossil fuels over renewable energy sources, effectively stalling advancements in clean technology. The suspension of these projects sends a clear message that the administration is more focused on short-term gains from fossil fuels rather than investing in sustainable energy solutions for the future. 2. Declaring an energy emergency. In an unprecedented move, President Trump declared an energy emergency, aimed at expediting fossil fuel development while excluding renewable energy from this initiative. This declaration has facilitated the fast-tracking of oil and gas projects, sidelining renewable energy projects that could have contributed to a more sustainable future. The term, energy emergency, seems to underscore a commitment to fossil fuels, further highlighting the administration's preference for traditional energy sources over innovative clean energy solutions. 3. Suspending new offshore wind leases. An executive order issued by the Trump administration has put a halt to new federal offshore wind leases. This decision has had a ripple effect, prompting states like New Jersey to stop awarding new offshore wind contracts. Offshore wind energy has the potential to significantly reduce carbon emissions and provide a clean, renewable source of energy. However, by suspending new leases, the administration has hindered the growth of this promising sector, casting doubt on the country's commitment to reducing its carbon footprint. 4. Appointing fossil fuel industry leaders. The Trump administration has made several appointments of individuals from the fossil fuel industry to key positions within the government. Notably, Chris Wright, a fracking executive, was confirmed as the Energy Secretary. These appointments raise concerns about potential conflicts of interest and the prioritization of fossil fuel interests over environmental and public health concerns. By placing industry insiders in influential roles, the administration has further solidified its commitment to fossil fuels, potentially at the expense of advancing clean energy technologies. 5. Rolling back environmental regulations. The administration has initiated actions to roll back various environmental regulations, including those aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions and protecting clean air and water. These rollbacks have weakened the country's environmental protections, potentially leading to increased pollution and health risks. By dismantling these regulations, the administration has signaled a shift away from prioritizing environmental sustainability, further entrenching the nation's reliance on fossil fuels. 6. Freezing federal clean energy funding. Executive orders have been issued to pause certain funding from the Inflation Reduction Act and bipartisan infrastructure law, effectively freezing federal grants and loans related to clean energy projects. This freeze has stalled progress on numerous initiatives aimed at promoting renewable energy and reducing carbon emissions. By withholding financial support for clean energy, the administration has hindered innovation and slowed the transition to a sustainable energy future. 7. Dismantling federal climate policies. Federal climate policies have been put on hold, making it unlikely that the U.S. will meet its emissions reduction targets. These policies were designed to address the pressing issue of climate change and promote sustainable practices. However, the suspension of these policies has cast doubt on the country's ability to meet its environmental commitments and has raised concerns about the long-term impact on the planet. 8. Reducing climate finance assistance. Internationally, the U.S. is expected to reduce climate finance assistance to vulnerable nations, impacting global efforts to combat climate change. This reduction could hinder the ability of developing countries to implement sustainable practices and adapt to the effects of climate change. By cutting back on financial support, the administration is not only affecting domestic clean energy innovation but also impeding international efforts to address the global climate crisis. 9. Merging USAID with the State Department. Plans to merge the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, with the State Department have been announced, potentially affecting international environmental aid programs. This merger could lead to a reduction in funding and support for global environmental initiatives. By consolidating these agencies, there is a risk that international aid for climate-related projects may be deprioritized, further complicating global efforts to combat climate change. 10. Promoting fossil fuel extraction. The administration is actively promoting fossil fuel extraction by opening up more land and waters for drilling and mining. This move often comes at the expense of environmental protections, leading to potential ecological damage and increased carbon emissions. By prioritizing fossil fuel extraction, the administration is reinforcing the nation's dependence on non-renewable energy sources, potentially hindering efforts to transition to a cleaner, more sustainable energy future.